What up, y'all? It is me and Marketa coming at you for our first entire podcast. Yes. I'm working on the intro still. That felt too much like a normie's intro. I think this one should be more like, what's up? It's the podcast.
Well,
podcast.
We're not at work. We're in the cozy abode of our house.
We are. We're in my space. You can tell from the cameras and the booty light.
Yeah, we're in a basement, basically.
Whoa. You make it sound like it's a bad place.
This is the dude. This is the what's it called? Dad cave?
Man cave, I think is the word you're looking for.
Well,
hold on. Let me take a picture.
This is your soon-to-be dad cave.
Soon-to-be dad cave, covered in baby gugas and whatnot. We can put all sorts of things down here.
Yes.
I want to play music for the baby. Gonna be a bass baby.
Well, people might know this background because of your channel.
Oh, yeah. If you've been watching any of my videos about my film photography adventures, or just photography in general, this is where I shoot a lot of my stuff. This is obviously where I keep my cameras. You guys can't see it, but a lot of my pictures are all on the walls.
Are my titties here?
Just barely.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm leaving that in this video. There's a picture of Marketa's titties up here and her butt and some cute lingerie. And then there's a fish dude over here. And then there's various other nudes and non-nudes around the room. I was working on a project for an amorous art show, so I had to have a bunch of stuff pinned up and put up to go out. I guess where does this video go? Where does this video live?
YouTube.
YouTube? Then yeah, the titties have to be cut out. But
might have to blur some titties.
yeah. Or I can move the pictures, but I don't feel like doing that.
No, we're already filming. Anyway, this podcast is gonna be about us.
Yeah.
About the cake.
Yeah.
The Chris and Ketty Experience. That is what we're gonna call it for now. We think it's a pretty strong name, so we're probably gonna stick with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Chris and Ketty Experience is basically going to be about us, mainly about our relationship, our life, our, we have quite an interesting relationship, I would say.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about it.
Have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
This is kind of like How I Met Your Mother,
but
it's gonna be better, and it's gonna have, hopefully, a happy ending.
It will. First, a pinky promise. Second off, How I Met Your Mother was pretty good for its time. It was a pretty solid sitcom.
Until the end.
Until the end. They missed on the end, but everything else was good. Listen, ideally, the best end to our relationship is that, we grow old and slowly die. Yes.
That is what we want for all human creatures that are of good heart.
Yeah. And for those that aren't of good heart, we hope you get harpooned.
All right. So today we're going to basically just talk about who we are and how we met and the entire history of our relationship. In future podcasts, we're going to talk about our past relationships.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what it's like to be in an interracial, international couple.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
Well, I have to get my wedding ring.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't wearing it.
You whore.
Okay.
Yeah, how complicated our relationship is with the internet, because, we've given quite a bit of ourselves to the internet.
We indeed have. And we're giving more right now. You're the internet.
We're going to also be talking about our open relationship, which we are in right now, and what that's been like. So, yeah, if you are interested in this kind of topics, please stay tuned. We're going to try to stay regular with our uploads, but we make no promises because, as some of you probably know, we're expecting a baby.
You got a baby on board.
So things are really busy right now and
Actually,
really complicated.
The only way to do this with child is while the kid's asleep. That's why I think a lot of the adults we know end up doing shit kind of later in the evening.
Yeah.
So we can just move that to the lateness. I also want to say this, particularly about the framing. I know, a lot of headroom, all right? But
Oh my God, are you talking to Mickey?
No.
He's not here.
Mickey isn't the only headroom police. I mean, there is very technically, a big quotes here, correct and incorrect way to do things, but I think it's motivated framing. You get just a little bit of the pictures kind of peeking out. They go all framed. They give you a sense that the room is slightly bigger. I don't know. Look, I just know that, look, man, people be looking at my work, all right? Sometimes you got to justify why you did something. I'm justifying it right the fuck now.
All of these are creative choices we have made, fully aware of what they look like. And we like it. So shut your hole. Anyway, let's go into the topic.
Yeah.
So how we met?
How we met.
Talk to your
Tinder.
internet children.
I will.
Tell them how you met their mother.
Okay. Well, let me put my leg down because I don't know that I can keep that up for long. I'm gonna try this one. I feel like dads do this a lot. I'm trying.
You are like straight up wearing grandpa shoes.
I am. Oh, this is probably a good stretch. Just some mild yoga. Listen, we met on Tinder. Tinder is a dating app.
Yes.
I'm religious, but like I don't put a lot of thought into like faith and destiny and all
This
that.
should be another topic.
Well, hold on. I'm leading up to the thing.
Interreligious?
Facial?
Faith. Oh.
Faithial?
Phrasing.
We've been watching Archer. Look, I don't put a lot of weight into destiny or whatever, all right? But I feel like there was a lapse in judgment on Marketa's part that isn't usually a thing that she does, and like a lack of reading awareness, which also isn't a usual thing that she does. Maybe she saw my picture and just thought I was so hot that she barely read the profile before she clicked yes, which...
Sploosh.
Totally here for that. But I had a Game of Thrones pickup line like in my bio, and she saw it and was like, oh, he reads Game of Thrones or likes Game of Thrones. We could talk about that. And she just kind of dove in. And it said, Tyrion in the streets, Khal Drogo in the sheets. It's a big, funny joke. And I think, have I lived up to that?
I will not comment on that.
No comment. Is this shirt crazy bright? Look at those stripes on me. I look like a bowling dad. I look like I'm wearing a vest. Anyway,
you have a lot going on with the shoes, with the
I haven't even cut my hair. I'm bald still right now. She saw that, and then we talked for a bit, and then we decided to go on a date. And I had just gotten out of a relationship. I think a bit ago. I'd been single for like a minute, but I was wanting to go on a date. And
how long have you been outside of a relationship?
I don't know. I'm gonna say maybe a few months.
A few months.
If I had to guess.
I thought you were like just out.
I can't remember, honestly.
I think he's lying. I think he was just out of a relationship.
No, I was, because I had to go pick up some of my shit from her house.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember this.
Okay. I'm not lying. There's a difference between lying and misremembering 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. Here is a fun detail to that, though. That same night, my friends were trying to hook me up with this other girl.
Uh-oh.
At like the same time. And like, we're just friends now. We never hooked up or anything, but like, we were like definitely vibing.
Yeah.
So maybe I was going to meet my wife that night no matter what. Who knows? It was in the cards. Who knows? Bum, bum, bum.
Well, you made your bed.
Yep. She lives in Irvington now. She was on the bus once. I saw her recently.
Oh, nice.
But we're like friends. We didn't do anything or hook up or anything. Yeah. It's whatever. But so yeah, that was it. That's where I was. And I guess I was freshly out of a relationship that was a little weird.
How was that?
The relationship? Mm-hmm. Well, we ended it, so it was... We broke up because of financial reasons. She was fucking rich. And
he was not.
And I was not. And her family were like rich people that I didn't quite understand. I'd never been around rich folks before. They were rich and black. And like her dad like owned a private prison. So there's a lot of like confusing elements for me emotionally. But yeah, she was like, I don't see you getting it together. I had a job that I had to clock into and like just kind of sit at the office and do nothing sometimes because it was a grant job. So I had to like, if you don't run out the grant money, you can't get the same amount of more money next time. So I was making sure to use it. I mean, I did work sometimes, but there was times when there wasn't literally anything to do and I just kind of chill out. So that's it. So I wasn't making any money or doing anything. And then I met Ketty. So why don't you tell, the internet knows my shit, I feel like I talked about it before, but we don't know yours. Where were you at emotionally and relationship-wise?
Okay, so I moved to Indianapolis as an au pair in 2015 in the summer. And I met Chris in like late August, early September. So very early on into my American adventures.
I thought you had just had a boyfriend though.
So, I had a bit of a hoe phase when I got here because I previously was in a weird relationship that was very long distance and not really working the way it should.
Can we define hoe phase?
Well, I was on Tinder a lot. and I met a lot of people.
Throwing them cheeks. How dare you?
I don't know. I was just being single, and I think the year I was 25.
Yeah, I think we were both around 25 when we met.
I was 25, and like previously my life was like just a very long, serious but long distance relationship. And, I didn't really get to do a lot of
intimacy. You could just call it hoeing. Oh, intimacy, no. That sounds way nicer. Or in Czech, you didn't have a lot of lovers.
I did, yes. So, yeah, I kind of wanted to fuck around and find out.
Okay.
And I did. And it was fine. It was okay, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I'm just going to live my life for now. And I had zero intention of finding the love of my life.
But did you have fun?
In the US. I did.
Nice. Then that is, I think, in a hoe phase, that's really what matters, is that it's fun.
Yeah, it was good. Some of my encounters were less good than others, but, I guess that's the nature of hoe phase.
For women. For men, it's all pretty good. I just want to say before we go on, I've never spent an extended amount of time on this couch. And now I see why.
Oh, yeah.
I've slept on this thing once, maybe.
Oh, God.
I don't know what to do here. Where do I put my body?
Well, this is why I chose this half.
Fuck.
You're stuck. We can switch for next episode.
You sure? You don't like this?
I don't.
Talk about a hoe face.
Okay. Anyway, so while I was, on my adventures, there was one guy that I kind of liked before I met Chris. And so I was just like, okay, well, this guy is nice. Also, definitely got mixed signals from him because he, like, the second meeting we had, we went to the Indiana State Fair.
Nice.
And he brought his entire family.
Weird choice.
Yeah, it's the second time we met. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. But it seemed like, he really likes me, wanted to show his family, meet his family. So I was like, okay, I guess this is interesting. I didn't make much of it, but then the third time we met, we went to Chris Brown concert.
Oh, I thought you went to the concert with the girls. I didn't
with the girls, and also him.
The girls being the au pair girls.
And his sister, and like his best friend. So again, like a close circle of his like...
This is like our third date.
Important people. And we had, every single time, we had really good time. After that, I have never seen this person again. He ghosted me. And this has never happened to me before. The word ghosting was not even in my vocabulary. I didn't know what it meant. This is not something that happens, I don't think, or it never happened to me when I lived in the Czech Republic. So I was honestly really shaken by that experience. It was really hurtful, and I was like really broken for a while, for a few days. And then I met Chris. And
do you remember what we did for our third date? Because I do.
Third?
Yeah, I remember it super well. You came over to Grizz's and Derek's
with Hannah.
Yeah, smoked a shit ton of fucking weed, and then we.
The sheepskin?
No, that was on my birthday. What? All right, but listen, you came over to Grizz and Derek's.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out, and Hannah was there.
Should we use names?
Oh, I'm shouting out the homies Grizz and Derek.
Okay.
Them's my boys. That's family. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
Go follow both of them right now. Find them on the internet somewhere. I don't care how. But
Radford Woodworks.
We went to go hang out. We were hanging out at their house, and it was probably like a bunch of trap music and weed. And I know motherfuckers was probably rapping and just clowning and shit. And then after that, we went to Pure Eatery, and I think we bumped into Dez. And I remember,
oh my God,
because it was like your first time meeting Dez, and then Dez was like, bro, and he like pulled up Tinder. Y'all had matched on Tinder. And he was like,
me and Dez?
Yeah, he was like, I was just this girl. I was like, oh shit, it is, man, damn. Indie small.
That's so
but yeah, I remember that, and
yeah.
I don't know. So I guess the third time hanging out with him was probably similar to the third time hanging out with me, because we're just hanging out with all my friends and shit. But I mean, I'm also.
But like friends, I feel like friends and family are very different.
Yeah.
And also like your best friend, like they were like close friends. You know
Him
what
and
I
his
mean?
sister?
No, yes, him and his sister were really close, but also like his best friend, they were like brothers, like they grew up together.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, you met John pretty early on, I feel like, but
yeah.
me and my friend groups, I don't know, we operate different, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Well, anyway, it was the first time getting ghosted. I was just fucking not okay for a while. But I met Chris. I continued my whole phase after I met Chris.
Tisk. I can't believe you. I mean, didn't we all though?
We did not define our relationship.
We didn't sign our contracts of exclusivity.
Yes, sure. So when we eventually decided, I don't know, it was like 2 months.
Yeah.
3 months. I don't know. I don't remember when we had the conversation.
Again, I kind of do.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we went to Turkey Run.
Yeah, and we got rained on.
Yeah, we got rained on.
And I didn't wear a bra.
You didn't. It was also the first
was
time I heard
bad.
you fart. You were trying to run up the hill before it was raining. I was like, what the fuck was that? Oh no. You also, TMI, you peed outside and like, you had done it before and I was just like, check, people just go to the bathroom outside. It's not a big deal. I mean, I go to the bathroom outside. I don't care.
I gotta go.
I know, look, I'm not tripping. I do it too. I just had never met a girl who like just did it. I was like, all right, well, I started describing
I have
all
a bladder
things
like you.
to, I was like, oh, maybe this is just a thing Czech people do. But, to reiterate, we took a picture at that restaurant and it got posted somewhere. And you tagged me in it. And then my ex was like, what the fuck? I thought we were going to get back together. And I was like, you berating me about being poor? Like, no, why? I don't think that's going to happen, man.
That's
and
so
so that
funny.
was like maybe around when it started being like, oh, we should. Or are you seeing anybody else or anything like that? And I was like,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
Plus you sent
Yeah.
me a text that I don't even remember that you're super embarrassed about.
Yeah, so what happened?
What happened?
So we kind of talked about, okay, you know, well, we didn't. I was preparing to have a conversation with you.
No, you're talking with a different guy, right?
No, so before I wanted to talk to you about like being together. But before then, I wanted to break off all of my other entanglements. And one of those guys was named Chris. And I accidentally sent the message I meant to send to that Chris to this Chris. And that was very awkward because I basically was like, I don't want to see you again, so bye. And I sent it to you, and then I was like, I'm so sorry. This was meant for another person. I actually want to be with you. How do you feel about these prospects?
Aw, which is wild because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
not
I
one
will
bit.
never forget.
I've never had sex with another Marketa, so this
is
feels
the-
mildly unfair.
The most embarrassing story I have about our relationship, probably from
Really?
from my end.
It's probably the sheepskin for me.
Yeah, the sheepskin. We can talk about the sheepskin in future episodes. So if you're curious,
Yep.
keep watching.
Will that episode just be about sex? Would that be what that episode would be about?
You are spoiling it already.
Okay, edit that part out. Editor, I'm the editor. I'm not gonna
Just
edit.
believe it. Okay, so yeah. So then at that point we became together
Yeah,
exclusively.
exclusively. And I think you probably, I don't know when you met my folks, but I was still living at my mom's house. So I had roommates downtown and I was living downtown and I was pretty good with that. But then my roommates started going and like getting their own places and it was getting hard to like keep up with. Mind you, if you didn't hear before, I was broke. So I moved back home and my plan was like, I'm gonna save up some money and shit and like get my stuff together. I was like 25 going on 26 and this would have been 2015. And I was like, I'm gonna like focus up. I had just, it was 2015. Damn, there's no way I was still at that flower shop.
Yes.
Yeah, I was, because I remember, all right, so I had a job.
No.
So
I
was
think
just
you
leaving.
you were just leaving, and then you started working at C.A.K.E, and then you also had your job at the school.
Yeah, so I remember because I started Sun King on St. Patrick's Day of 2016.
C.A.K.E is a brewery.
Yeah, I worked at a brewery. So I remember starting on St. Patrick's Day because it was a really hard St. Patrick's Day. And it was like I was thrown in the fire, but that's how I like it because then I understood how the job went like super well. You know what I mean? Like if you can learn to dribble a basketball in gravel, you can do it anywhere. That's a Midwest metaphor for you right there. But so then after that, I had money and I started being able to save up money and shit and like preparing for life.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, but that's, you know.
And that's how I met his mother.
So, yeah, that was
Actually, I think the first time I was at your house, like while your parents were home, where your mom was home, that was very illegal.
Yeah.
I was also very drunk.
Yeah.
My friend abandoned me with 2% battery. I had no idea where I was, and I was very drunk. And she left with Greg's friend. I don't know his name.
With Greg.
And I got left with Greg, and Greg was so fucking annoying. And thank God Chris came in to save my life because I was done.
Oh.
It was bad.
I'm very helpful.
Yeah. And then you smuggled me into your bedroom while your mom was sleeping.
Yeah, boy. At the age of 26. Sad shit. People out here nowadays, they're like, oh, I don't want to.
This is the millennial life. I mean, I don't think... So... Full disclosure, this house that we're in is ours now, you know, but this is like, what, our second year here?
Yeah.
But this was like a journey, and I to this day, I still don't understand how we even pulled it off.
Oh, I think if you weren't married, it would have been way harder.
Oh, no, impossible. I mean, I don't understand how people even get to have a house in this economy.
Today's economy?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so there's a lot of people out nowadays that I talk to that are like, oh, I'm trying to wait till I get my shit together before I start really looking for a partner. And it's like, no, that's crazy. I think, in my opinion, at least for me, I don't know how y'all do your shit, but like I needed a partner to kind of help me get my shit together. Like I work
you
good alone. You
kind of had your shit together though, I feel like.
I mean, not by any
outside
standards.
Besides finances.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you know what I mean? That's like one thing, but that's kind of oftentimes outside of your hands, you know what I mean? Like, people pay only so much money for certain skills.
Sometimes if you want it bad enough, you gotta go out there and figure out how to get it.
Yeah, whatever.
See, I think this is your Europeanness of being like, you know, like you're not making a lot of money, and I mean, like, that's okay. And I think we get a lot of that in the Midwest, but I think also a lot of places in America, people are like, if you broke, like, how am I supposed to date you? How are we supposed to go do things? I'm pretty sure we went Dutch on a bunch of our dates, and that shit would not fly in a lot of places.
I think going Dutch... Okay, so this is actually an interesting topic that maybe we can have a whole podcast about.
Go Dutch or go home.
But I am full proponent of going Dutch on definitely, like, the first few dates.
Yeah.
Because I've been on some dates where men, you know, treated me and paid for my food, but like then they like expected physical things from me in exchange for that like monetary relief. Because I can afford my fucking dinner, like you didn't have to pay for it, and I'm not gonna like French you for the next 30 minutes now. Like, go fuck off.
French you for the next 30 minutes now. Fuck off. All right. Wow.
Anyway, I don't like that feeling of owing someone something, and also without it being like communicated. It feels very scummy to me, and I've encountered that with many men. I'm not saying this is what y'all do, but I've had this experience with a lot of people. So I just first date absolutely insist on going Dutch, and then you know if there's a second one, we'll see.
I think where did we go for our first date? We went out for a beer, and it turned out you weren't into beer, which was
no, because my first date with you, someone T-boned my car.
They backed into you.
They T-boned my car, and the guy was like a real asshole about it, and that was like your first like good point.
Yeah.
Because I called Chris and I was like, so I just tried to park, but somebody like ran into my car while I was waiting at the red light, and I need help because I'm gonna kill this man. And so Chris showed up, like immediately hugged me, pretended like we just like old pals.
Yeah, because I even if you were, I don't know, you just gotta have people's backs. I feel like that's Midwest hospitality shit. You were just backed into, and this dude was obviously being an asshole.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, that's not gonna fly.
Yeah. Then the cop showed up. Both me and the person that backed into my car was a foreigner. The cop was just so confused. He didn't know what to do. We both gave him our passport, and he was just like, I don't fucking know where to even write this.
Take pictures, give me your address, fuck off.
Fuck off. So yeah, that was like the first good like experience I had with you when you were like reliable.
No, right before that, I was probably washing up in a bathroom sink. So I'm pretty sure I had my bike and I had road from
You
campus.
did have your bike.
So I was like, fucking. Did I even have a car then?
No.
Oh damn, yeah, no car, no house, 2 shitty jobs. I was undateable by any other standard anywhere else. Absolutely. I want to let that slide.
That's hilarious. Okay, well, so we got into the us being official, and then meeting your parents, and we ended up getting married in 7 months, right?
Yeah.
7 months.
7 months, 6 or 7.
Yeah. Why?
Well, first off, there was a pregnancy that really kind of solidified.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we don't have kids except the one coming right now, but in 2016. We got pregnant by accident. That was unplanned.
You know, actually, what I think would happen is the day I picked you up from the whole Greg situation.
Oh, Lord.
You were a little drunk and we were.
But I took Plan B. Me
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jovan both took Plan Bs together.
Okay, you can't be name dropping your friends about fucking smashing Plan Bs in the morning. Fair enough then. Well, I don't know. We'll see how much editing this actually gets. But yeah, so with that. The day that we found out for sure was a leap day. Fun fact.
Was it?
Yep.
Damn.
I remember because I was like, damn, fucking leap day? Like,
Yeah.
this day doesn't even exist. And the day that I told a bunch of people recently was a leap day.
Aww.
It's been 8 years, almost 8 years exactly.
Yeah, that's... Did the light just turn off?
The sun is doing stuff outside.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Well,
all about it.
all right. So, yes, the pregnancy was wild, and I was shocked. My first positive pregnancy test in my entire life ever.
But not your first pregnancy test that you've taken.
No.
Why would it be?
But yeah, I was definitely not ready because I knew you for minus 4 months.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
And I was just like, yeah, I'm not staying here. I don't like the US, in all fairness. And I don't want to live here. And so yeah, I was not here for that situation. But
I was like, fuck it, yeah, let's do this. We had like a week to decide.
yeah, we had about 2 weeks, I think.
And I was like, yeah, no, I think we can do it, which was wild because that's not a decision that I don't know what compelled me to decide, but
You were unhinged. You're like, yeah, let's have this baby. And I was just like, what?
I don't know what it was. I meant it. I 100% meant it. I was there for it, but we didn't.
But you came with me to Planned Parenthood when I was freaking out. And then, unfortunately, we had miscarriage. So, yeah, there was nothing in the end that we had to like discuss whether we were keeping it or not. But yeah, I had a miscarriage, and you were there too when it started happening, and you took me to the hospital, and you were just there for me. And so I was like, okay.
I feel like that's
This is a solid guy.
That's a pretty low bar.
This is a solid man. Right there.
Come on. There's some dudes out there that are like, I don't know, but it just sounds like your problem.
Yeah.
Let me know how it goes. That's wild.
Yep. So that definitely was like, I guess, like a switch in my brain in the way I was thinking about our relationship. Because I didn't think that, I mean, I think that was the reason that propelled me to then, when it was time for me to leave the country and go back home, because I didn't want to continue to be an au pair.
Yeah.
To be like, you want to get married or what?
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about doing long distance.
No.
But like, you had just got out of long distance. I'd never done it, and I don't know that. Like, I really hadn't even like traveled before that. I think before that, in 2016, the last time I was on an airplane was probably in the 90s, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I did like all the 2000s. So like, I wasn't really ready. I don't know that I could have made that jump on my own.
It would not work out.
Like,
I can tell you right now.
how much do you love this person to get on this plane for the first time ever and fly to a country that you know shit about? I was just discovering I had anxiety. It would have been. Yep. It would have been. I don't know that it would have worked out. It really would have been no one's fault.
The first time we flew to Czech Republic for him to meet my parents, that was a whole adventure.
It was.
Where you had to buy compression socks at the CVS and gums, like 3 packs of gums.
Yeah, I've never been on a long flight. Everyone was like, you gotta get blood clots if you don't move around. Like, I'm fucking 80, and I was like, if you say so, I don't know.
I think you bought 2 pairs of headphones. Like, you were just spending money. I was like, okay, I think it makes him feel better, so I'm just gonna let this happen.
I just wanted to make sure I had everything possible, and like I didn't know what I was gonna need, and I like to be overly prepared for most things, at least.
Okay.
I like to be overly prepared for anything that I don't think I can just wing it through.
Sure.
We figured it out, though.
Yeah. But getting back to our conversation about getting married. So we ended up getting married in May of 2016. Mm-hmm. So we have, met for the first time in September 2015, got married in May of 2016. Mm-hmm. So less than a year, and it was only because I was not here for a long-distance relationship. I didn't want to... I could have extended my au pair stay by another year, but I really didn't want to do that either.
Being an au pair didn't seem like the track to be on?
No, it was not. So yeah, I was the one who posed the question. Yeah. Will you marry me?
And then we went to Walmart or Kmart and got you a nice ring.
I went to Walmart. I got a $25 ring with silver and glass.
It was nice. I think it was cubic.
I still have it. It's beautiful. And then we got married in a house, in a really beautiful mansion, actually, that we just got locked out on.
That is, fun fact, like 4 blocks from here, maybe? Yeah. I know that makes it seem like we live in a mansion. We don't. We live 4 blocks away from mansions. Actually, we live by a surprising amount of mansions.
2 blocks away from a ghetto.
Just 2 blocks away from the ghetto? What the fuck?
2 blocks away from the ghetto. Okay.
But a little interesting neighborhood, at least. Yeah. And then we started, after we got married, we got a car for getting married. My mom had bought an extra car and was letting us use the old one, so we got that.
And then I T-boned it.
I think you T-boned someone else.
With
you
it.
didn't yeah, yes. Okay, yeah. But then we also got we moved out too. We moved out. We got married in May and we moved out in June. Mm-hmm. And we had a roommate. We were married with a roommate.
Yep.
For like 2 years.
Because in this economy,
In that economy, and I think Marketa had gotten a job as a host.
Had no jobs.
Well, no, you were teaching English.
For a long time, yes.
You did Amazon.
So, unfortunately, after we got married, I had to apply for residency because I was here on a visa, mm-hmm. but the conditions of that visa no longer applied because I wasn't an au pair. So I had to apply for permanent residency, green card. And I also had to apply for a work permit, both of which took expedited about 4 months. So I was unemployed for 4 months.
You weren't teaching English for that 4 months?
Sometimes I would teach English to Chinese kids and I would get like $7 an hour for that.
And I think you taught German to that one dude, not German, you taught Czech to that one dude.
Yes.
And you taught a little bit of Turkish to someone else. So it was like small language hustles.
So I was just like teaching languages here and there, and I was barely making any money though. So, yeah.
And I was bringing in the big bucks.
You were bringing in, what, like $1,000 a month?
Maybe. I had 2 jobs, but our rent was only like $750 split 3 ways.
Yes.
So that wasn't bad at all. And I had 2 jobs, and I was just kind of working that. And I think I was also doing some of those soccer videos too.
Yeah.
So I was doing like the soccer hustle. I was making like videos. I think I picked up 1 or 2 weddings. It was on top of it.
Yeah, we were hustling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was bad. And as soon as I got my work permit, I went to like the nearest restaurant that was like just opening, and was like, take me in.
Yeah, but that was good because it's a really good restaurant chain to be a part of.
Yeah.
We had the car, but I think you were like walking to and from work because we didn't stay that far. Which is the other benefit about being downtown is that we're already kind of car deficient. So if we're around in a walking enough space, that was good.
Yeah. So I guess that I mean, obviously there are other things to talk about in terms of marriage and our open relationship, etc. Blah blah blah. But
Well, you forget about the one other thing we started doing in 2016.
what?
Normies.
Yeah. Well, so we can talk about all those things in the future, but this basically covers... Oh, I do have some questions, but this basically covers the journey, the from point A to point marriage.
You have journey questions for them or questions for me?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
When did you know I was the one?
I think it was officially when I decided that we could have a kid together. It's probably then. Probably right in that moment. I was like, oh, that's not a decision your brain normally makes. That can't be right.
Yeah, it checks out. I think it was also when you said, like, no, let's have this baby. I was like...
So we'll figure it out.
Excuse me?
It's the dumbest shit I ever said. I mean, we would have figured it out. We would not be right here right now. So I don't know. It was that. It was making that decision. And yeah, that was it for me.
Yeah. I think for me it was also that. You're saying that you are ready for this life-altering thing at that time.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It made sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was definitely the moment. What do you think makes us compatible?
I think we are both pretty fluid. We haven't really come up against any hard idea. Well, okay, first off, we agree on a bunch of things. It just turns out that we agree on a bunch of things, but I also think that we're willing to change our minds about stuff, which is good. Like a couple of conversations we had like early on about, I don't know, like the world and politics and stuff. Like I was more willing to listen to you because I felt like you were you'd seen more of the world. You knew more of the world, right? Like whenever I had friends that had like traveled and shit, and when they had an opinion about something, like I kind of listened to that more, or at least dug into it. And so I think that was it. We're compatible. We both find each other attractive. That works. You like doing things. I had a girlfriend before who like hated riding bikes. You loved riding bikes. We went on long bike rides.
Yeah.
And I think we challenge each other. I don't know how I challenge you, but you definitely challenge me to like do shit that I probably wouldn't do.
Aww.
Which is good. Keeps things interesting.
I mean, I think that we're definitely compatible in like our opinions on things and I don't know, attractiveness obviously, but I mean you challenged me too because I don't think, like, I remember we had conversations like as we were getting married about like sex and expectations and like, you know, I'm not as I don't have such a strong libido as you. You say that then, but then you kind of did. Yeah, well, I mean, ish. It's, for me, it's more seasonal. Seasonal libido. That would be the good name for a bar. Seasonal libido. And, you know, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. It is what it is. But, yeah. I was also, I think, like, much more, like, I guess, conservative. That's so weird to say. But, like, yeah. I had, like, reservations about some things, you know. whether it's like sexual things or even like do you remember the first time we went to gay pride?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I can't go to gay pride.
Yeah.
Why would I? And and I'm not because I was homophobic, but because I was just like, it's not like my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I just was like, I think that we both, you're saying that you're only learning from, I think we're both learning from each other.
No, I think the experience of being broke in America too kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like.
I mean, I was broke most of my life, but being broke in Czech Republic is like very comfortable. You know, being broke in the U.S. is almost a fucking death sentence.
Yeah, and like I know how to do it, and I still feel bad about the car situation because I put you in a situation where like look, and this is gonna be for anybody who gets it, totally gets it. Like driving without insurance is just sometimes a thing you have to do. That's just it. Driving without a license is sometimes a thing you have to do. That's just it.
I am still paying for it, Chris.
I know. And I'm so sorry. But like, yeah, that was probably my first, like, and I feel like I've tried ever since then. I was like, all right, you gotta get shit together. This can't be it. But yeah, I don't know. I just remember like, you're like, damn, like we're living in America, but it was like you in the part of town you lived on too. Like most of your experience for America, I think, was like college towns and like outside of the college town. And then like here on the north side here in Indy, which is really nice. And then like coming downtown and being like, just kind of getting an experience of like, this is the lower middle class or maybe the upper lower class, but this is it. Like, and this is like most of the people I know.
Upper lower class.
This is most of the people I know and most of the shit that we do. And like, this is just how it is. There's points in time where you have to ride the laundry to the laundromat on a bike in the rain and being like, well, we can't afford a washer and dryer and it's the only way.
The lowest point of my life.
But we came back, so thanks for sticking around. Most people wouldn't have done that because most people, like, I'm trying to fuck now.
Okay, my last question for you is, what do you think is the main strength you add to a relationship?
That I add? You know, I want to say fun, lighthearted goofiness. I have, you know, if we're on a boat, right, you're the person you've got like the cartography map and like all that.
I'm Nami.
Sure, if that's what you say, but I don't watch One Piece. I guess that makes me Luffy or Zoro. Yep. I'm just like, let's just fucking go. Like, we can do it.
Everybody knows you're
out.
Sanji.
I'm Sanji? Yes. Oh, bad. Perfect. Give me a lollipop or a cigarette.
You're a whore.
But yeah, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna figure it out. I mean, I get in my head about shit sometimes too, but yeah, like I am I don't know. If we're a band, I'm the drums. I'm just, yeah! You're like the fucking lead singer or the guitar player who's much more like, I've got, you know, like I'll help. I did a little more of the planning and shit.
Okay.
But I'm here to hype you up. I'm also here to bring drummer songs occasionally, which sometimes are bad, but they're always fun.
Okay.
What about you? What are you bringing?
I don't know. This is an interesting question that I didn't think about answering.
I think we're kind of like slotted into two stereotypes for relationships.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
I mean, like, you are this calm, mostly like serene person.
Serene?
Yeah, you help keep me grounded. Without you, I would be...
Well,
I would be living on a bus that I made by hand and it's not great and it's just okay. And I'd be having fun and playing music, but I wouldn't have any like fucking, I don't know, prospects. I'd be some schlep about artist who like lives in New York in some kind of shitty hovel, and I would be having fun and doing cool things, but like I'd be like, I don't know how I'm gonna retire. I won't think about it.
Yeah.
Like, this relationship has brought me stability, and I know that a lot of, like, relationships, like, the woman brings that, and, like, you know. But you're also still fun, too. You're also still wild. You're also very not calm at times. We each have parts of each, but, you know, it's a spectrum. Yeah. And sometimes you've got more of the, like, reasonableness, and I've got more of the unreasonableness. And then when you become unreasonable, I become reasonable.
Yeah. I think that's what is the best about our relationship, because, like, yeah, sometimes I get like really mad about something, and you have to like step in and like hold me back so I don't end up in jail. But sometimes you get that. Not you don't get angry. You don't have anger issues. But like you get frustrated about something, or I don't know. You get like, I don't know.
I get super in my head about shit and just assume that everything sucks and that it's always sucked and I fucked up and there's nothing to undo about it. Like what you guys can't see is the amount of tilted pictures on the walls right now, and all I'm thinking of is I should have straightened those out before this. You can't even see them. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Well, see, so I guess we're compatible and we both bring something. I don't really know what I bring though, but I'm glad you think that I do.
What? Long-term plans, long-term goals.
True.
You're an artist in your own right, and literally the fact that you were taking better pictures than me inspired me to be a better photographer.
Ha!
So like, there's plenty of things. But you know what? Sometimes when you make a fucking cake, you put in all the ingredients, you weren't really paying attention, and it's delicious. You don't ask the cake why it's delicious. You just enjoy the cake.
Oh, thanks, babe.
You're welcome. That's it.
Cool.
Good way to end the episode?
Yeah.
All right.
This is it for episode 1. If there is anything that like we got into, but not really, everything was kind of surface level. So if there's anything you guys are interested in hearing more about, let us know in the comments. We are going to read them, obviously, because there's probably going to be like maybe 1 or 2. So.
Ooh, true story. All right. Well,
see you guys. We'll see you at the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.